The topic for today is that one question you must be able to answer to create that next advancement opportunity. And I just want to take a moment to define how I look at as an advancement opportunity. So that advancement opportunity could be something you're trying to create either internally within your organization or something externally. So if we're talking an internal advancement opportunity, we're talking about something like a promotion. Maybe it's an opportunity to lead a new project, or it's an opportunity to lead people for the first time in that organization. Advancement opportunities in no way, shape, or form means that you have to leave the organization you're at. But sometimes we do. And sometimes we decide to look elsewhere and look outside of our present organization to really create a bigger opportunity. So that may look like, advancing your career in such a way that you get that leadership opportunity you've been wanting for, but haven't been able to get it in your present organization, or it's an opportunity to simply go to a different industry or to step up and lead in a different way. Whatever that advancement opportunity, it is there for you to create and define. But that one question, I truly believe we all must be able to answer if we're going to create it, is why is it important to us? Right? When you think about your advancement opportunity, why is it important for you? Okay. So if you've ever read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, it's a great book. And I encourage you to read it if you haven't. I'm seeing some loves come across. I'm right there with you. But in the book, he profiles various companies like Southwest Airlines and Apple. And he talks about why they've been able to be so successful, because everybody gets on board with the mission, the vision, the purpose, ultimately the why, like why they're serving the people they are each and every day. And so for us, I think it's so important for us to be able to define the why, because without it, honestly, we have nothing, right? Like, think about it. When we go to meet somebody, if we're at a party or at a networking event, and we say to them, what do you do? It's a really safe and easy question because it's closed-ended. They might say, I'm an accountant, I'm an attorney, I am an IT specialist, or I'm a teacher, or I'm a customer service representative, whatever that might be. But if we take that moment to ask them why do you do that? That's a far more open-ended question. And that's where we get to the real heart and soul about why people do what they do, right? So for some, it's absolutely about the money, because we have responsibilities and bills to pay and mouths to feed, and we need to keep a roof over our head. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. For others, the why is more about a service in helping people or helping an organization grow. Whatever that is, that why is so important. But without the why, we can't show up as we authentically want to in any given situation. You see, without knowing the why, the emails we send, the networking we do, the resumes we write, the social media profiles we optimize, and how we interview, be it on the phone, on video, or in person, isn't our best, because we haven't connected with the why. So I want to share a little story about my own career journey. And it really, I think, drove home for me about why identifying the why was so important. So it's 2009. I am a middle school mathematics teacher and district mathematics coordinator in a wonderful district in northern New Jersey. Interestingly enough, next to the Real Housewives. So if you ever want an interesting story or two, PM me. I was looking to make a big move, both professionally and also personally. And so the move was going to be to Washington, D.C. And I knew I couldn't come down to DC without a job. The other thing was, in my 13-year teaching career, in this one district, I felt like I had done all I could. And I felt like there were days I was showing up and I was stale. I just wasn't my best, and it wasn't fair to the kids I was teaching and the team I was working with. So I started looking. I started looking for that next opportunity. And for me, what I defined was an opportunity to work with adult learners, to work with teachers in an instructional coaching or professional development setting where I could make a greater impact on their teaching practice, which would ultimately lead to impacting student achievement. And in looking for jobs in our nation's capital, what better place to work than Washington, D.C.? This was during the Michelle Rhee era. And so I had interviewed and found the job and identified the why. Exactly that, right? I wanted to make a larger impact by helping teachers, help students, and ultimately helping them learn. So I go through the whole entire process, right? I go through the resume, the phone interview. I come down for the in-person interview, and I have to give a 10-minute professional development presentation on a particular topic to a panel of interviewers. Go through the whole thing. Everything goes really well. The follow-up's great. I talked to my deputy chief, who was going to be my boss, and she's like, I'm just waiting on budget. I'll talk to you in a few months. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm getting nervous, and I'm like, am I really going to be able to make this happen? Am I going to be able to move? And my personal life's going to get better, and my professional life's going to get better. And it is literally like one of the last days of school, and I had gone out with a couple of colleagues, and I walk out of the restaurant, and the phone rings. And it's my deputy chief saying that the budget got cut and there's no job for me. So to say I was disappointed was an understatement. But after, thinking about it and talking with my now husband, Richard, about it, we said, look, there's a lot of stuff for me to learn here. And there's an opportunity for me to go back for another year in this district and learn a lot. So I had an opportunity to define what that learning was going to look like. And in it, I was able to strengthen my leadership voice and strengthen the ways I was able to deliver and receive feedback and to work on building and growing a team. So when the job opened up again in 2010, I interviewed and I came back down, went through the whole process again. And yes, I still had to give that 10-minute professional development training to the interview panel. But I decided to do a different presentation because I didn't want to come in with the same old thing because I had worked for a year and I had learned a whole lot more and my why was so much stronger. So I get done with the interview and one of the interviewers, Sky Bryan, who I ended up having a chance to work with for about 4 years afterwards, he says to me, you interviewed last year, didn't you? And I said, yes. And he said, you didn't give the same presentation. I said, no. He said, why? I said, well, I wanted you to know that I learned a whole lot more in a year, and I didn't want to come down and show up dialing it in and giving the same presentation because I don't believe that's what I'm about and what you deserve and what the students in this district deserve. That was noted. And I got the job. And so I moved in June and started the job in July. And that advancement opportunity that I was able to create then in turn set up everything that has led me to today. Because see, I don't believe you can do the next job without the one before it. And so everything in our career path is an opportunity for us to create and savor the opportunity. So in all of that, the why was so important because while there were personal reasons for me to move, there were also professional reasons about my own growth and where I wanted to step forward. And to know that working with adult learners and educators that ultimately impact their professional lives and to impact the educational experience of their students was really, really important to me. And so that's what allowed me to show up in that way each and every day. So I'm encouraging you to think about your why. And so when people ask you what it is that you do, not just what do you tell them, but why do you do what you do, right? Why is it important for you? And I think that why ties in so much with our core values. It's about who we are as individuals, as professionals, as people who walk this earth with each other, right? That our core values dictate how we show up. So whatever those core values are for us individually and us professionally is how we present ourselves. It is all about our why. So if you're interested and you feel like maybe chatting along with me here, feel free to drop a comment in the chat box about, those whys that are coming up for you today and what this all means for you, right? In other words, so whatever your job is, why do you do it? Okay. Why do you do what you do? And why is it important for you? I'm looking in the chat and seeing people here, and thank you so much for joining, right? You all have such vast backgrounds and amazing talents that you give each and every day to the people, the schools, the communities, the talent that you get to work with, right? And I'm wondering what kind of core values come up. Okay, I've worked with people where their core values are profitability and growth, both for their company as well as for themselves. I work with people where their core values come from such a deep place of service and helping others and helping them truly work with the people on their teams to simply grow and be better and be really proud about the work that they get to do each and every day. So what's your why? What is the why that you do what you do? Liz Culkin, big shout out to you. Congratulations for making Team USA. So proud of you, and Team Brunswick as well. So for those of you that don't know, I bowl as well, and I'm very proud to be a part of Team Brunswick. So Liz, congrats on being able to represent our country this year. Gordon, so great to see you. Best to everybody there at Wichita State. Thanks for joining. Vanessa, great to see you as well. And Rita and Rachel and Derek, thanks for so much for joining. So again, just to kind of wrap up a little bit, right? So that one question that you need to be able to answer to create that next advancement opportunity is, why is it important to you? Why do you do what you do? And how do you impact the people you work with each and every day? Okay, Rachel, to help make sure that the intent of the next generation science standards and the K-12 framework are assessed in a manner that change can occur. Absolutely, right? And so, Rachel, your reach in that work is affecting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of students across the country because of how you show up each and every day and how you are passionate about the work that you do because you care about kids and you care about education. So awesome. Great stuff. Thanks for sharing that. So again, I encourage you to think about the why, think about what that next opportunity looks like. If you haven't had a chance to check out my website, please do so at johnneral.com.